Hi, my name is Ben Jones. I'm an analyst at Dorsey, Wright and Associates. Over the last week, we saw our two major Indian risk indicators reverse down into O's, suggesting lower prices, multiple sell signals, and some deterioration across the Indian equity space. And one of the ETFs that I track here in the U.S. that is comprised of Indian stocks, it just recently moved to a 12-month low. And if it wasn't for that flash crash back in May of 2010, it would have moved to a 24-month low. So certainly we're seeing weakness come into the Indian market again. But just because we're seeing some stocks and some of the major indexes break down, it doesn't mean that everything is breaking down. Now, if we look at, let's say, the CNX Nifty and take those 50 stocks and compare and contrast them against each other on a relative strength basis so that we get a ranking from strongest to weakest, just like we would rank the world cricket teams, or in the U.S., the NFL football teams. And so if we do that right now, and then we look back over the last 30 days to see what has improved and what has weakened, you're getting an interesting picture of what's really going on. And right now, the most improved stock in the CNX Nifty is Jindal Steel and Power Limited. This stock recently broke out, moved to a positive trend. It has certainly pulled back with the overall equity market, but it's still trading in a positive trend. This pullback provides a better entry point for new investors, and that's Jindal Steel. Cairn, India. This stock pulled back from that high it reached in November at 324 with that rally high. It's pulled back to 300. Again, another viable entry point for investors, especially from a risk-reward standpoint, because there's some two close stops that could be placed, whether you're looking at 292 or possibly down around that 280, 276 area. And then finally, Cipla Limited. We saw Cipla break out in October as well as in November, move to a positive trend. Right now it's trading in overbought territory, so if we do see this stock pull back, they'll make a prime, more viable risk-reward scenario for the stock. It's a 4 for 5er, and it's trading in a positive trend. Now, what are a couple stocks that are weak right now? Certainly the overall weight of the evidence is negative right now, and especially if you look at the State Bank of India. Since really May of this past year, it's been trading in a negative trend and making a series of lower tops and lower prices as a result of lower prices. So look, it found some support there at 1750. It will move to another sell signal around 1700. Watch out for this stock. No matter what piece of positive evidence or news comes out in the media, this thing keeps continuing to fall. And so nothing really positive here. Same thing with NTPC Limited. Just recently violated its positive trend line, is moved down to an October low. Next level of support is at its September low of 160, but all in all, a weak technical picture there. So certainly there's some good stocks, there's some bad ones, and there's definitely some ugly ones. So be cautious, use tight stop losses, and if you look to enter and buy new positions in this market, make sure you buy on pullbacks right now. That way you can make sure you can assure some sort of positive risk-reward scenario because you have a tight, close exit point. That's it for this week's India Minute.